time to pound the streets.
We'll have a wonderful time, darling.
What's this?
What's what, dear?
The dears, the darlings, to have a nice times.
Well, I mean, isn't that what you expect from a nice, sweet, boring window dressing wife?
That again.
Oh, you can add a few little physical symptoms now, like tired, aching, dragging, loss of appetite.
Sounds like morning sickness to me.
Not even close. These symptoms I recognize. Just another case of boredom. Boring. Do you really want to know what's bothering me, or are you just saying that to appease me?
I really want to know.
What about your work?
It can wait.
Okay. Well, I already told you that I'm bored. The point is, I think I have a cure.
All right, then why don't you explain it to me? I mean, obviously, my concept of male-female relationships goes back to the Dark Ages.
I know that you want a baby. And you made that clear today and on numerous other occasions.
Hey, only if you want one, too.
I do want one. I do. But first, I need to feel fulfilled. I need some excitement. Something challenging.
You want another scam? Another dice with danger?
If that's what it takes, yes.
Look, Holly, I've already explained my position on that. I will not have you involved in any life-threatening situations.
I need it, Robert.
No. Look, you've convinced yourself that you need it. I mean, the truth of the matter is you could be very happy leading a nice, leisurely life as my wife.
Shopping and lunching with the ladies.
A lot of people like that sort of activity.
Well, then you'd be very pleased to hear that today I'm having lunch with Tiffany and Claudia.
There you go.
Right. There I go.
Sounds like fun.
Fun is no excuse for overeating.
Then get pregnant. There's your excuse.
I hope you're kidding.
To a degree.
Pregnancy is not a solution to boredom.
Which kind of brings us full circle, doesn't it?
Well, at least now you know my position.
You're straight out blackmail. No detective work. No baby.
Believe me, if I thought that would work, I would try it.
Darling, it's out there, the solution, and together, we're going to find it.
Where are you going?
Track down Grant Putnam. It's time for a few explanations.
Oh, finally you're taking my advice.
Well, you see, I just want to find out what happened to Campbell. Now, if Grant can throw some sort of light on that, I'm going to be eminently grateful to him.
Admit it. You suspect him, you have for a long time.
Maybe I do.
See?
On the other hand, maybe I don't. Enjoy your lunch. Hello there.
Commissioner, I'd like to stand, but as you can see...
Please stay seated. What happened?
Skiing accident. I'm waiting to see the doctor right now. Tell me, what brings you here?
Actually, it's you. I called your hotel and they said you were here.
Yeah, I've waited long enough. I imagine it's going to be a few more minutes before the doctor's available. What can I do for you?
Well, you see, it's this Campbell case. It's got us stumped. I've got the homicide division working on it round the clock, but they don't seem to be able to come up with anything.
Well, then you are convinced that there's some sort of foul play involved?
Well, not exactly. Could be we're not looking in the right places, or that he doesn't want to be found. Let's assume foul play for a minute.
I've already told you everything I know.
Yeah, I know that. I just want to go over a few points that maybe I missed out, perhaps something obvious that I discarded for whatever reason.
If there's anything I can do to help, I'll be happy to. You know that.
Actually, I don't. I half expect you to tell me to get lost. People will do that. They'll cooperate once, but rarely twice.
I guess that makes me an exception.
Guess you are. Listen, you don't mind if I take a few notes here, do you?
No, not at all.
Okay. Let's get down to a question here. Who do you think might have wanted Dr. Campbell dead?
I don't want to appreciative. But every life needs some sort of variety.
An affair? Good heaven, she's contemplating an affair. Who is he?
I'm not talking about an affair. I'm looking for the kind of excitement that comes from danger and intrigue.
Well, darling, most affairs that I know have just that.
Hello, ladies. Hello. I know I'm late. Problem is, I get started and I just can't stop.
There's your solution. A spending spree.
Oh, no, I've tried that.
Oh.
After a few times, that gets old, too.
Well, what are we talking about?
Well, it seems poor little Holly is down in the dumps because her life is not filled with enough excitement. So I was merely suggesting that if she went out and bought a few dresses and some hats and stuff, she would just be the perfect solution for her, don't you think?
Oh, no, that's much too self-indulgent. I mean, I used to do it, but now I have found much more meaningful pastimes.
Really? You mean all of those are not for you?
Oh, just one measly little old belt. The rest is for people who really need it.
No kidding. You got something for me?
I am serious, Tiff. I mean the truly needy. As a matter of fact, the idea hit me at dawn, and I've been shopping all morning. Oh, God, I bought a little doll.
Holly Scorpio, just the person I wanted to see.
Hello, Mrs. Barrington. May I introduce to you Tiffany Hill and Claudia Phillips?
How do you do?
Well, we've met before. Remember, Mrs. Barrington?
Oh, yes, of course, the Avalon Tea. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, my dear.
Would you care to join us? Perhaps we can have the waiter pull up a chair.
Oh, thank you. I promise I won't take but a moment of your time. It's a favor I need from you, Holly.
Well, I'm certainly available for favors and anything else.
Yes, it's our annual British Club charity.
Oh, you finally decided on something.
Oh, yes, a boutique. And the proceeds will benefit the waterfront children.
Well, that sounds perfect. And how do I fit in?
Well, the other members and I took a vote, and it was unanimous. We've decided we want to put you in charge.
Me.
Just the excitement she's been looking for.
Well, it sounds like an interesting venture.
And worthwhile, too, don't forget.
I accept, and I'm flattered.
No, aside from that one patient in New York City, I don't remember him mentioning any others.
What about here? I mean, during the course of your interviews, did he mention anyone trying to contact him?
No.
You saw no other patients?
No. He was working on his book here. In fact, I don't even remember being interrupted by a phone call.
You don't know anything?
Just that he was working with a patient in New York and never mentioned a name.
Well, someone called him. And I asked him to come. That much I'm sure of.
Now all you have to do is figure out who.
Or why? Either would lead me to a solution.
Yes, I suppose it would. Hell, if that will be all for now.
There is one more thing.
Yes?
You were locked away in your hotel room for, how long was it?
Just the one night.
No one saw you.
I was studying.
Didn't want any interruptions, huh?
Exactly.
You did call Jackie Templeton.
Yes. I
And,
said that, and I told you why.
Yeah, you didn't want her to feel put off.
Right. You know, as they say, you either keep them happy or say goodbye. Can't have it both ways.
Yeah. Something I'm just starting to learn. Well, look, thanks very much, Grant.
Thank you. I hope it helped.
Oh, just a second. You did speak to someone else that night. You had to.
No, I don't remember anyone else.
The clerk you asked to hold your calls and messages.
Yes, you're right. I had completely forgotten about him.
Him, eh? You don't remember the name, do you? I mean, he may have seen Campbell the same night.
No, I'm afraid I don't remember his name.
First name would do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, who recalls stuff like that? Well, once again, thank you for your cooperation. And I hope everything works out with the leg.
I'm certain that it will.
I don't know, maybe I'm nuts. Maybe the guy is telling the truth right down the line.
Uh-oh. Methinks thou has a feeling about this, like Putnam knows a lot more than he's saying.
Perhaps. But he's our strongest link to Campbell. I mean, he knew the guy better than anybody.
Did he have any motive?
Assuming there's a murder. I mean, right now we don't even have a body.
Yeah, but a suspicious disappearance is damn near the same thing in my book.
Well, his story's good, Bert.
Robert, the world is full of good storytellers.
I'm going to check into it, if for no other reason.
Well, the worst we can do is find out that the guy is telling the truth.
No harm in that.
You have any other suspects?
No.
But what the hell are we waiting for?
Divine intervention.
What the hell does that mean?
It means that to verify part of his story, I have to talk to Jackie Temple.
Oh, dear. Our own Lois Lane. Surely her old wounds have healed by now.
Don't count on it.
Robert, why don't I just send one of my men over there to do the job?
Waste everybody's time and get a big fat no.
Okay, thank you. I'll do it.
No. No, you're too good a friend, Bert. I'll handle this one. But listen, I'll tell you what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Track down that clerk who was on duty at the hotel. I don't have his name, but there are my notes.
Okay, let me take a look. Oh, great.
Can you understand them?
What's this, Australian Chinese?
It's near enough. Hang on.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a Mr. Grant Andrews to see you. He says it's very important.
All right. Be right with you. Well, enough to get started?
Yeah, I'll have that clerk and Miss Templeton here before we close.
Thank you. Listen, on your way out, send Grant Andrews in, will you?
Okay, will do.
Robert, I'm sorry to just barge in like this.
It's all right, mate. No problem. You said it was important.
Yes, it is. Thank you. There's a co-worker of mine who I think is DBX.
I see.
Could you run a check on him? Maybe call the WSB or run him through your computer?
Well, I suppose I could, so long as you're willing to wait.
Wait, how long?
A couple of days, maybe a week. It depends whether he's on the enemy rosters or not.
Please, don't take too much time. I am convinced that my life is in danger.
All right, look, I'll call the WSB directly. I can't promise anything immediately.
You do understand the situation, though, don't you?
I'll need a name.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Boris Roscoe. I'll get right on him.
So soon. No, but I realize it doesn't give you much time. But you know the British Club. All those teas and discussions and meetings. It's a miracle to get anything accomplished at all.
But we British usually do rise to the occasion. I hope I can convince both of you to pitch in.
I'll twist arms with everyone I know.
We should try and get everybody in the community, as many as possible, to help us.
Well, I'll enlist the waterfront children. Oh, and I'd probably get old stuffed shirt Brian to pitch in a little, too.
Oh, I think everyone will pitch in, you know? I mean, I just think it's marvelous.
Well, just first things first. Do you have a location? Have you decided on one yet?
Well, no. Outside of appointing you, we haven't come to any decision.
Oh, well, headache number one. Where do we put it?
Well, why don't we just rent space in the waterfront mall?
Not bad, but I think something that would stand out, make it one of a kind. I know. How about the Avalon Spa?
That's fantastic. It's a great new building and loaded clientele.
And you'll write it in all the Avalon publicity.
Well, first of all, we need Lorena Sharp's approval.
Darling, how could you possibly turn you down? I mean, she needs a great image here in Port Charles.
And well, if you run into any resistance there, I'll put a word in. I think with a little subtle pressure, I can persuade her to capitulate for certain business reasons.
Okay, well, if I need you, I'll cry help. Otherwise, I'll make an appointment to see you.
Well, you're on your way.
I'll tell the lady you've accepted. Oh, thank you, Holly. I know you'll be a huge success.
I'll do my best.
Enjoy your lunch, lady.
Oh, we will.
Thank
Thanks to
you.
you, Mrs. Barrington. Oh, I just think it's absolutely fantastic, don't you? You're not going to be bored for weeks.
Excuse me, there's Brian. Maybe I can get him to take these packages upstairs.
Right. So, you're a night clerk in a hotel. I guess you must see it all.
Just about.
However, I would imagine it's pretty dull most of the time.
From about 10 o'clock on, except weekends. Weekends, it goes on all night.
How about Mondays?
Oh, quietest night of the week.
Good. That's going to make our job a whole lot easier. Captain Ramsey here, I suppose, told you what we want to talk to you about.
No, sir, he didn't. He just said it was important.
It is very important.
Are you willing to cooperate?
Yes, sir, of course. I've always cooperated with the police.
It's about a tenant of yours, Grant Putnam. You know him?
Sure. Mr. Putnam, he's been with us over a month now.
Nice guy?
Yeah, guess so.
Do you recall a certain conversation on Monday night, February the 13th?
Oh, gee, that was what, 2 weeks ago?
More like 3.
Well, he comes in for his messages occasionally. Doesn't get a lot of mail. Wait a minute. Was that the night he was studying for his medical exams?
Might have been.
Sure, I remember. He came down and he said he didn't want any interruptions. He had these real important tests, and he didn't want us to ring his room or allow any visitors.
How long was that?
Until he told me otherwise.
And how long was that?
The next morning. I was getting ready to go home, and he came down and told me.
So you're sure that he was in his room all that night?
Oh, I'll assume so. I mean, why else would he want all that peace and quiet?
Did you actually see him go into his bedroom?
No, sir, just to the elevator.
And he didn't come down again?
No, sir, not until the next morning.
And tell me, in your opinion, would it have been possible for him to have gotten out or gotten past you without seeing?
Yeah, if he wanted to. I'm sure he could have, but why would he want to?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, sure.
We'll be in touch if there's anything else.
You know where to find me.
Hotels are like any other buildings. They have windows, fire escapes, staircases. I mean, he could have got by without any trouble.
Sure, but without a witness, we have nothing.
Send Jackie in.
Yeah, would you like to see her alone?
What does that mean?
You know her and me. I can't even get her to talk when I have a subpoena.
Okay, stay close.
Oh, I will. I'll put the riot squad on alert.
Well, well, here we are together again. How are you, Robert?
Fine. And you?
I was terrific. Till 2 policemen arrived at my office with instructions to escort me here.
Well, I thought I'd take the liberty. I mean, I know how cooperative you like to be.
You know, if you want any sources from me, that you're wasting your time.
This has nothing to do with your professional life.
I don't believe it. You're asking me for a date. Let me tell you, Robert, the phone would have been a lot easier and safer, especially if you're married, which I believe you are.
Well, I know how you love to jump to conclusions.
Really, I was just kidding. We both have our own lives. I realize that.
Which is what I want to talk to you about. A certain relationship you're involved in.
It's none of your business.
Oh, Grant seems to think it is. He's under the impression you're friends.
I assume we're talking about Grant Putnam.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have made that clear. As a matter of fact, he's helping us with the case we're involved in, and I need you to verify his story.
If I can.
You spoke with him on Monday night, February the 13th. I believe he said he was going to be incommunicado.
He was studying for his medical entrance exam. I remember the call.
Do you recall exactly what he said?
He said that if I was trying to get through to him, that his calls were being held by the hotel.
I see.
And he knew that I would be upset, so he wanted to let me know. You see, Grant's a very considerate man.
Guess he must be.
Kind, grateful. So many of those attributes you're lacking.
Well, I guess it takes a woman to bring them out in certain people.
Not in Grant's case. You see, he's kind to everyone, even his so-called enemies.
I take it you're referring to the other Grant here.
All right, fine. You can say that. You're the police commissioner. But I'll tell you something right now. Grant Putnam is a kind, decent man. If you're trying to suspect him of something, you're a bigger fool than I thought you were.
We'll see, won't we?
Yes, won't we? Goodbye, sir. Have fun on your goose chase.
Hi.
Oh, hello. I didn't expect to see you home so soon.
I can even come back later if you like.
Don't you dare.
Well, aren't you the sight for sore eyes? How was your lunch?
It was better than I expected, actually.
Oh, learn all sorts of nice, juicy gossip?
No, I received an assignment.
I don't think I like the sound of this.
Don't worry. It's nothing that you would disapprove of, Commissioner. It's a social assignment.
Oh?
I'm going to be overseeing the British Club's charity boutique to help needy waterfront children.
Well, what do you know?
I knew you'd say something like that. Well, what do you know?
Well, listen, by the time things start to roll along, you're going to have no time for poor old Robert.
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll be able to squeeze in a little time for you somewhere.
Between meetings?
And early morning.
What about late nights?
Our best time.
And here's me thinking I'd be the only one enjoying myself. Oh. You know, if you're as good at planning boutiques as you are at kissing, you're going to be selling all those little kids $300 suits before summer.
I'll see what I can do. Who's Boris Roscoe?
Boris? Oh, what did you find out about Boris?
A memo you left on the table.
That's sneaky and underhanded.
Takes one to know one. Who is he?
Name I'm running through the computer.
For a reason, no doubt.
A good reason. One I have no intention of sharing with you at the moment.
You know what, Robert?
What?
You shouldn't have married me. You should have married a golden retriever.
What?
Because I don't think I'm going to be very good.
Wait, all right. Hold it. Hold it. Now. The training will start right now.
Robert Scorpio, you are the most egotistic, self-satisfied, smug MCP
Wait a
that
minute. Self-satisfied, smug, egotistical. What was the
a
last
male
one?
chauvinist pig.
Oh, that's a good one. It's my smile always when you open the end. Don't laugh now. Come on. I better laugh. Look, we're laughing. Hey, you're going to mess it up. Yeah, you've messed it up.
Why can I never stay angry at you?
I love you for it. Let's go upstairs and make love all night.
Well, if you tell me who Boris Roscoe is.
Never, not while I have breath in my body.
Well, I was in the neighborhood and I thought I'd stop by.
Checking up on us now, are you?
Well, in a concerned way, I was wondering if you heard what the DA is planning to do.
Well, a meeting has been set to discuss the proceedings in the bribery case.
Proceedings against whom?
Blake, Brock, and Rick.
Bribery and corruption charges?
Looks that way.
Robert, that is utterly ridiculous, and you know it just as well as I do.
I would imagine the DA will probably agree with you.
You think he would have better things to do than to try to drag this charade into court?
He has an obligation.
To investigate the facts, I know that. Doesn't make it any the less ludicrous.
Look, you're not going to get an argument for me, but so far it doesn't look good for Rick.
The idea of Rick accepting a bribe, it's just plain silly. And the best argument is it's obvious he doesn't need that money.
Nobody's so rich that they won't accept a little petty cash from time to time.
Not if it is illegally gained, Robert, and not if his name is Rick Weber.
Look, I'm on your side, but I'm just simply stating what could come up in the hearings.
Rick Weber's moral character doesn't have a stain on it. I mean, he has proven his integrity over and over again through the years.
And the other side of that argument is that every man has his price.
Well, not Rick Weber. He's the most honest man I know.
We've got to prove that.
All right, we will.
Well, his best defense is still Ginny Blake.
Well, yeah, of course. We can get her to admit that Brock paid her to set Rick up, then there's no case at all.
Well, unfortunately, she's sticking to her story in the statement that she's given.
So scratch that defense.
Not if we can get her to tell the truth. There's got to be some way to break her down.
Just like old times, Lee.
Baldwin and Boyer battling for truth and justice, huh?
We were in private practice together many moons ago.
Oh, yeah.
I hope the split was an amicable one.
Oh, yeah, very. Frank lucked out, landed a job with the DA's office. As everybody knows, the DA's job is a piece of cake.
Piece of cake. Is that what you think about this case?
No, I think this case is an outrage. Both Robert and I agree that Rick Weber's telling the truth.
I agree also.
What do you intend to do about it?
Investigate.
I thought you just agreed that he's not lying.
Lee, you know the law as well as I do. Better, maybe. I have to investigate.
So what happens now?
I have to see if there's enough evidence to present the case to the grand jury.
The only case here is against Brock for trying to ruin a man's career, his good name, and my administration.
Then we have to win this one, Lee.
Now you've got the idea. What's the game plan?
Well, first of all, I have to take statements from everyone who's involved. Weber, Brock, Weber's wife.
Why Leslie?
Well, she can back up Rick's story about Ginny Blake trying to claim her son.
Well, then we better get started, huh?
Let's start with Rick. How soon can you get him down here for a statement?
We'll get him in here right now.
Here I am by the skin of my teeth. Hope this isn't a bad time.
Not at all. I'm expecting you.
I don't think you're expecting what I have to tell you.
Well, you're here to make a statement, aren't you?
That and give you some new information.
Such as?
Such as I'm angry. I don't think I have ever known anybody that could be that devious.
Who?
Ginny. Brock. Bobby saw her on a TV commercial. The woman is a professional actress.
Actually, part-time.
You knew?
We did a printout on her. It's just come to notice.
Why didn't you tell me that, Robert?
We just discovered it. I mean, we had to piece all the parts together.
Well, it's quite obvious. Brock hired her to play a part.
Got to prove that.
You prove that, you'll help my case, right?
Immeasurably.
Then fine. That's something that we have to do.
We're working on it, Rick.
Did you talk to her?
We talked to her.
And?
Well, she sticks to her story. She was an executive with ARB, and you asked her for a bribe.
That is a lie. There's got to be something that you can say to her to make her tell the truth.
So far, we haven't been able to crack her. However, we haven't given up. In any case, it's still her story against yours, her word against yours. What else?
All right, let's say that they believe her in this and the other pieces of evidence. Are they going to have enough to bring an indictment against me?
There's always that possibility, but maybe they won't. Look, the fact that she's Mike's mother, and there is no doubt about that, makes your story all the more credible.
That's true.
Look, the DA wants your story. Why don't you get down to his office now and make a statement?
For what it may be worth.
Hey, listen. Don't give up on this. A lot of good people are backing you up here.
Thanks.
I know you're very busy, so I won't take up much of your time.
Take all you want.
Well, actually, I've only got a few minutes. I've got to catch a train to New York. The airport's closed.
Then we better make this quick. I hear there's an ice storm about to hit.
Well, I'll get right down to the facts. Now, I know you've been questioning Grant Putnam, and quite frankly, I'm worried. What is going on?
Did Grant send you, Mr. Armistead?
No, I came here on my own.
I see. You are his attorney.
I'm also a family friend. And I'm concerned about what Dr. Campbell said about Grant.
Why?
Well, you yourself were aware that Campbell had reservations about Grant's mental health.
What about you, Mr. Armistead?
Let me make this clear. I think my client is a very remarkable man. I mean, considering all he's been through, he's a miracle of restraint and rationality.
I don't believe that's ever been in dispute.
Yeah, but you yourself have been suspicious of Grant regarding the Campbell matter.
What if I told you that Grant's alibi checked out?
You mean you know that he was in his room the night that Campbell disappeared?
Yes. It was verified by a newspaper woman together with a bellhop who saw him go into his room and not leave.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
We also have a tape recorder that was found in New York City.
And he's no longer a suspect?
Not anymore, from the looks of it anyway.
Well, I'm relieved to hear that. I appreciate your telling me that, Commissioner.
No trouble.
Well, I better dash. Thank you again. You know, I'm certainly gratified that you're no longer concerned about Grant Putnam.
I can think of nothing better.
Don't you just love storms?
Especially when I'm inside. By a roaring fire and with a beautiful woman. And especially when that beautiful woman is my wife.
I hope you're not planning on going out anywhere today.
Not unless I absolutely have to. I have to see Ginny Blake later, but she's coming over here.
Oh, you have more questions for her?
A few. Mostly I just want to keep the pressure on her.
How long?
Till she cracks.
When do you think that will happen?
Could be any minute.
Better get the door. Hello. Yes, gosh, I'm here to see Commissioner Scorpion. Please, come in. Thank you.
I appreciate you coming by, Miss Blake.
Yes,
especially
well,
in this weather.
what's it about?
Well, your story has a few discrepancies, and I'd like to discuss them.
We've gone through with this.
But your story has a few holes in it.
Okay, such as?
Your employment, for one.
All right, what about it?
I know you're an actress.
Why do you say that?
Wasn't too hard to find out. You had a commercial on television just recently. I think it's pretty safe to assume that your latest role is that of an executive with ARB Finance. You must be quite good at it, otherwise you would never have been able to set up Rick the way you did.
I didn't set anybody up. He asked for it.
You denying that you're an actress?
I do.
Explain to me this commercial, then. I can get you a copy of the tape if your memory needs refreshing.
I used to be an actress. There wasn't enough money in it. So I took a job with Mr. Brock.
Well, your talents are put to much better use.
As a vice president, that's all.
Then let's talk about the fact that only half of the people at ARB Finance actually know what you are. The other half have never actually seen you at the office.
That's easy to explain.
I figured it would be.
I was hired as a vice president, but as such, I am constantly on the road visiting clients. I am paid by ARB, but I'm rarely in the office. If I were, I wouldn't be doing my job.
You have a record of all these people you supposedly met on the road?
Of course, they're on file at the office. You can ask Mr. Brock.
I intend to.
You realize, of course, that financial clients' names are kept confidential. But I think in this case, Commissioner, Mr. Brock might be willing to oblige you.
You better be.
Listen, if you don't have anything else to say.
The money you gave Rick was for Mike's education.
$25,000. I love my son very much. He is my son, but I couldn't go that far even if I'd wanted to. But if I did, I certainly wouldn't give him a company check. That's embezzlement, Commissioner.
I know.
Rick Weber asked for a bribe, pure and simple. I obliged him on behalf of my corporation. There is no way he could have thought it was personal.
You got it all down pat, haven't you?
What?
Your lines, you read them very well. You must be a good actress.
I wouldn't be here if I weren't.
Ain't that the truth? Lying on stage, Miss Blake, it's called acting. Lying in real life, it's another thing altogether. We call that perjury or fraud.
Spare me, please. The lectures, Commissioner. I am not lying. And if you are now through interrogating me...
I'm through for now. But let me tell you something, Miss Blake. I'm not impressed with your performance one little bit. I mean, I didn't believe one single word of your story.
That, Commissioner, is your problem.
Now, once I prove you're lying...
Yeah, Holly, I'm sorry to just barge in on you like this, but I've got to see Robert. I called down at the office, and they told me that he was going to be spending the day here at home.
He's in his communications room at the moment. He's receiving some information over the computer, but I'm sure he'll be right out. Do you want to have a seat?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much. It's cold out there.
Robert told me about your ski trip. It's truly amazing.
Yeah, that accident certainly put a damper on the vacation.
I can imagine. How did Celia take it all?
Hell of a lot better than I did. Oh, actually, the whole incident's put a strain on our relationship. I just stormed out of the house before I came over here.
You and Celia had a fight?
No, not really a fight. I blew up at her again. I realized that I shouldn't have, but I did. It's just, I don't know why she puts up with my behavior.
Well, she'd rather be with you than without you.
That may change if I keep acting like this.
Maybe I should go over and visit her.
No, believe me, you don't want to go out in that weather.
No, I'd like to see her.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I know she'd appreciate it.
Grant?
Hello, Robert.
I was about to call you.
Yeah, I was hoping you might have some news for me.
I do.
I'll leave you two to your business. I'm going to go over and see Celia.
Listen, you be careful out there. The roads are slippery.
Yes, I know. But I won't be gone long.
Thanks, Holly.
Bye.
Robert, I apologize. I wouldn't have just popped in like this, but I really had to find out if you'd heard anything about Boris.
The information was just coming through on the computer when you showed up.
Is he DVX?
No. Boris Roscoff is as clean as they come.
You're certain of that?
Computers don't lie.
No, but they do make mistakes. You thought I was clean, too.
And this is different.
You're sure?
Boris has been here now for 23 years. Now, he had to sneak out of his country with his pregnant wife, your country. Their daughter was born here. And as a matter of fact, you may have even run into her.
Me? Where?
She works at General Hospital as a respiratory therapist.
No, I don't know her. But tell me more about Boris, please.
Well, there's no known association with the DVX. The man is absolutely clean.
I can't believe it. So I was completely wrong.
You were careful.
True. True. I never know which one of my ex-countrymen is going to prove to have been sent by my former employers, now do I?
That's the risk you take. I mean, you knew that when you refused the offer of a new identity that Jackson gave you.
I know. But I had to think about Celia, too.
I realize that. In your position, I may have done the same thing and be sitting here now regretting it.
Well, Robert, thank you very much for checking on Boris for me.
Anytime, mate.
I'm sorry to have wasted your time on a false alarm.
What's up with your hand?
Oh, I cut it at work. Look at this. Got cuts and calluses all over my hands. Hardly the hands of a surgeon anymore, are they?
Having second thoughts about Jackson's offer?
Maybe I should have taken him up on it. With a new identity, I could be practicing medicine in England or Canada. Here, I'm just Grant Andrews, one of the common workers.
Glad you stopped by. I can use someone to talk to.
I gathered from what Grant said that the two of you were not having one of your better days.
Well, I was, except when I was spending it with him.
What happened?
Well, it started this morning. We got flowers and champagne from Grant Putnam.
Sort of a thanks for saving my life present.
Exactly. I thought it was a very, very thoughtful gesture, but my Grant, hit the ceiling.
Why?
I don't know. I can't figure it out. He doesn't want to have anything to do with Grant Putnam.
Oh, I suppose it's not that hard to understand. His namesake serves as a constant reminder to your Grant of a past that he loved to forget.
Anyway, he stormed out to take a calculus exam, which, it turns out, he flunked.
Oh, it really wasn't his day, was it?
No, it wasn't. But the most amazing thing happened after he left. I went over to Grant Putnam's to thank him in person. And he told me that he wants to make me and Grant sole heirs in his will.
Well, there's gratitude for you.
Yes. Well, it isn't really so strange when you consider that Grant did save his life.
Still, if I were you, I'd wonder what was going on.
Well, he wants to repay us. Is there something wrong with that?
I don't know. Doesn't the whole thing make you nervous at all?
Why should it?
Well, the last time Grant was named in someone's will, his benefactor died shortly afterwards.
Dr. Gerald. Oh, Holly, that was different. His death was connected with the DVX, and besides, Grant is a young man. He'll probably live for years and years. He'll get married, he'll have children, and he'll rewrite his will. And we'll get a little explanatory note, if even that.
That's the case. Why did he bother to draw up a first draft now?
Something he needs to do. Seems like it's something very important to him. I really don't see how we can not accept.
And how does your Grant feel about it?
I haven't told him yet.
Celia?
I will.
Don't you think he might like to know about this soon?
Yes, I do. I just haven't found the right moment yet. He's been in such a foul mood lately. Holly, you won't mention anything to him or to anyone else?
No, of course I won't tell anybody, but I really think you should discuss this with him.
Oh, I intend to, when the time is right. But until I do, I don't think it would be very good if he found out from someone else.
No, it would be disastrous. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Good. Are you sure you know what you're doing now?
Quite sure. You know, I feel sorry for Grant Putnam. He's lost out on so much of his life.
We just heard.
Fred called us just as we were on our way out.
I gather Rick's in there.
He'll be
there with Leslie, yes.
See her alone.
And the kids?
They don't know yet. I'm going to go with Rick when he tells them.
There's Laura, too. Yeah, well, I don't imagine they'll ever... Well, it'll be hard finding her.
Last night we heard from them, they were in the Himalayas.
Well, is there any address, any way to contact her?
Well, there was no return address, but you could understand it. They've been moving about so much. They were staying... What did they call it?
An ashram.
Oh, I doubt there were any phones there.
Ruby, you sure there was no address?
No, they just said that they were staying at this place.
Oh, listen, do you have a letter, maybe anything, postmark on it?
Yes, I saved it. It's at the Webbers. I know exactly where it is.
Okay. I can see that. Maybe there's a chance of finding him.
Well, we might as well go. There's not much we can do here.
Yeah, but let's do it now.
Rick will certainly want Laura to know immediately.
You go ahead. We'll handle everything here.
Could I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Considering the weather conditions tonight, why don't you just wait for Rick and all go back together?
I agree. I agree. We'll wait.
I must say, a night like this, Rick is going to need all the people around him he can get.
There was a cop at Kelly's and he's...
I know. I couldn't believe it either.
Not Les. No. Why don't you sit down and we'll get some coffee going. What do you say, Rube?
I'll go get that letter for you. It's right out here.
Thanks, love.
Do you really think you'll be able to track him down?
Well, Luke and Laura are a pretty elusive pair, but if there's some way to do it, I will.
Between your computer and Robert's old WSB friends, it might just work. It's knowing which buttons to press.
Yeah, and which friends to lean on.
Robert, Laura has got to be told now.
I'm going to do my best, Rick.
Here it is with no return address.
Yeah, there's a nice clear postmark, though. I'll run this through the computer, then get in touch with my WSB buddies in India.
How long do you think it'll take?
Hard to say. Do it as quick as I can, maybe tomorrow.
Rose has some coffee in the kitchen.
Oh, no, thanks. With the storm as it is, it's going to take us long enough to get home.
Be careful.
Yes, well, we will. Rick, if there's anything we can do.
I know, thank you.
I'll call you when I know something.
Thank you.
I'll see you to the door.
Well, I've done all I can.
Any luck?
Well, I've got the region. Turns out it couldn't be worse. Mountainous, rugged, pretty inaccessible.
I'll assume not too many phones either.
No, not in this area. The best thing I can do is contact the nearest village to their ashram. We used to have a WSB agent there, as I recall. It's about 50 miles away.
Can you get to Luke and Laura? That's assuming that they're still there.
Yeah. Well, he'll just have to send a Sherpa guide up to the ashram.
Wouldn't a jeep be quicker?
Yeah, if there was a road. This place is only connected by a very thin trail.
How long will it take?
Maybe tomorrow.
Laura, she told me the night before she went that the toughest thing was saying goodbye to her mother.
It's gonna be harder now. She can't even be here.
You know, it was like when my father died. I had those few moments with him on the phone, but that almost made it more difficult. Maybe Laura's better off being so far away from it all.
She'll have Luke. That'll help.
Rick seemed beyond help. It was as if half of him died with Leslie tonight.
I guess when you're with someone for a long time, that's the way you feel.
No. I don't think I could go on without you.
I don't know what I'd do if anything happened to you.
Whoever it was who said, enjoy every moment, was a genius.
Yeah. He was.
I think it was a woman who was married to a man who was as wonderful as you are.
I hope we're not intruding.
Oh, of course not. Come on in, let me take your coats.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Fine, fine.
Not great.
Well, we take turns propping each other up.
Well, if you have to go through something as terrible as this, it's better if you're not alone.
I wouldn't want to try that. Unfortunately, I haven't had to. Thank you.
Did you want to see Robert?
Yes, is he here?
He's in the other room.
Holly, I've just been going crazy. I didn't want to wait there for his call. I thought I'd come over here. Has he heard anything yet?
Rick, thought that was your voice I could hear. Hi, Blackie.
Hi, Robert.
How are you?
I'll be a little better if you have some good news. Have you found Luke and Laura? I mean, it just doesn't seem right to have the services without Laura being here.
Luke, too.
Look, I know how you feel. I just want to tell it to you how it is at the moment.
Well, right now it doesn't look very good, does it?
Well, I wouldn't give up hope just at the moment. I mean, although I haven't spoken to my WSB contact in India, I mean, I am expecting something shortly. Now, it all depends on whether the Sherpas can get through to the ashram in Himalayas and deliver a message to Luke and Laura.
And if they can't?
It means we probably can't get a message to them.
Well, I don't know what to do.
Look, I'm expecting to hear something soon. Let's wait and see, huh?
Look, I cannot go on putting off the schedule of the funeral.
Look, would you both care to stay here and wait for the call?
Yes, I would, thank you. Blackie, you don't have to. No, I know you got a lot of things to do, and I will understand.
Nowhere,
Go.
No.
I'm going to be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. And that's why I want to be with you. All right?
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
I know your family must be a real comfort to you.
Well, if I didn't have this guy and Mike and Amy, I would be in pieces because they're the ones holding me together.
You know, it works both ways, buddy.
I can tell.
Why do you have to have a, tragedy like this to remind you of how much you have to be thankful for? I would have settled, for an evening, maybe 24 hours, because I had a lot of things I had to say to Leslie. Like I had to tell her how much I loved her. And,
she knew.
Why didn't I make us all some tea?
Hey, that's a good idea, love. Make the time pass a bit quicker.
Rick?
Oh, yeah, sure. If it's not too much trouble, thanks.
No problem, really. I'll just be a minute.
Everybody's been just nice, really nice. I mean, so nice that it's getting on my nerves.
I know what you mean.
I mean, they call, and they even come by, and they all ask the same thing. They want to know when the funeral's going to be.
What are you telling them?
The truth. I can't have a funeral unless I know if Laura can be here or not.
I can't blame you for that.
No, nobody blames you.
If I think there's the slightest possibility you can find him, then I'll postpone it. I'll make it next week.
Yeah. I'd do the same thing.
I don't know how to say goodbye to Leslie. Thank you, Holly.
Blackie,
No, thanks.
you'd probably prefer coffee, wouldn't you?
It really doesn't matter much these days.
Excuse me.
Is that your contact in India?
Be.
Mind if I listen?
Come on.
Thank you.
Scorpio. Yeah. You sure? How far? Good. All right, keep at it. Let me know the minute you hear anything. Yeah, thank you.
They didn't find him.
Bad news?
Well, it's not good. The Sherpas got through to the ashram, but the American couple had left.
Great, so much for that.
Did they find out where Luke and Laura were going?
Yeah, they've gone to a nearby village.
Well, can these guys get to the village?
Well, my contact has already sent a messenger ahead. It isn't far, apparently, and he's going to look for Luke and Laura. Now, we may get through to them yet.
When?
Well, I'm not going to know for certain.
Robert, I just can't keep postponing this funeral.
Yeah, well, look, with any luck, we'll know in a couple of hours.
Well, I guess I could put it off for a couple of hours, but then I'm going to have to reach a decision.
You and Blackie are welcome to wait here if you'd like.
Yeah, look, why don't you do that? I'm not going anywhere till I get some information about Luke and Laura, and you won't be in my way.
Thanks, man. We've been here long enough. I'd like to go home. Mike is going to be there, and I'd like to be with Mike.
Well, there's other people there, too.
Yeah. We'll wait to hear from you.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you feel anxious at all and you want to come back, you're welcome.
We appreciate it very much. What do you want to do?
I'm sticking with you.
I can call you when they let me know.
I'll save you the dime, Doc. Thanks.
Well, I guess we're together on this. We'll see you.
Okay, now listen, if you need anything at all.
We'll let you know, Robert. Holly, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
Robert, thanks.
Any word?
Yeah, but it isn't good.
Oh, no.
Looks as if Leslie's funeral's going to have to take place without Laura.
Are you sure?
I just had a word with my WSB contact in India.
And they couldn't find Luke or Laura?
If you stick close, you can listen to every word. I'm going to call Rick now.
Hello.
Rick, it's Robert.
Did you hear from India?
Yes.
Well, tell me, what?
Look, I'm sorry to say that my contact has disappointing news.
They couldn't find Luke and Laura.
When he got to the village, they'd already gone.
They stopped in on the way to pick up supplies, at least that's what the villagers said.
Supplies for what?
Apparently they took off backpacking.
Do they know where they went?
Well, no one seems to have any idea how to get in touch with them. They could be incommunicado for days.
Rick?
I thought it was a long shot from the very beginning.
Look, Holly and I feel pretty bad about it.
We tried. That's all we can do, Robert. Thank you for everything you did, and we tried.
Sorry, it just wasn't enough.
So am I.
Now I feel bad for Rick. Not only has he lost Leslie, doesn't he look as if he can have his only daughter at the funeral?
You did all you could to locate Laura.
I'm not taking any blame for it. I just wish things had turned out differently.
Makes you realize how little control you have over your life, or anyone else's, for that matter.
Yeah, it's true. You can go. Just like that. You can lose someone you love in the time it takes to mention their name.
One minute you have a full, happy life, and the next you've lost everything.
You know, I almost feel guilty about how fortunate I've been.
How do you mean?
Well, I used to run around laying my life on the line, week in, week out, putting it all down to high adventure. Now I look back on it, I think it was all a touch irresponsible.
I feel the same way. I haven't been in as many dangerous situations as you have, but I've certainly walked that tightrope many times.
If there's a lesson to be learned by Leslie's death, it's that don't take anything or anyone for granted.
Because you could lose it all in a minute.
Spend the rest of your life regretting it.
Poor Rick. I imagine he's haunted by all the things he never said to Leslie, the times that he wasn't with her when he could have been, for whatever reason. All those moments that they never shared, and now they never will.
I know I'd feel like that.
Well, anyone would.
I can't imagine life without you.
Neither could I. I don't know if I could handle what Rick is experiencing right now.
That which doesn't kill me makes me stronger.
You believe that?
We're the proof.
There are a lot of different ways to put your life on the line, but I think that loving someone is the most dangerous.
No question.
But certainly the most rewarding.
It's kind of ironic. We've been risking our lives for years, and we're still here to talk about it. Leslie, who led a very ordinary life, suddenly dies without warning.
Doesn't make sense.
Makes you appreciate what you've got while you've got it.
I certainly do.
Me too.
Oh, Robert, did you have any luck trying to reach Laura and Luke?
No luck, Dan. We tried every source available.
And if we couldn't track them down, believe me, nobody could.
Shall we go in?
Most of all, I believe that she was what all members of her profession want most to be, a healer. So now, we will not say farewell to you, Leslie. Only thank you for the treasured gift and the privilege of having known you.
I will not add to Alan's eloquent words of tribute to our dear friend and colleague. But it is my heartfelt honor to announce that by order of the Board of Trustees of General Hospital, a bronze plaque is being installed on the second floor, commemorating the Dr. Leslie Weber Memorial Clinic. In that way, too, she will always be remembered.
I ask that in your prayers, you remember not only the dear departed Leslie Weber, but that also by your prayers, you offer love and support for her family, for her devoted husband, Rick, and for her beloved children, Mike, Amy, and Blackie, and for the daughter so close to her heart, for Laura, and for her husband, Luke. the resurrection and the life, saith the Lord. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth.